Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals and what I predict is going to happen for the 2021 season for the Arizona Cardinals. So do keep in mind that I am also incorporating things such as, upset. So just because I pick a team to win a certain game doesn't always mean that I think that they're the better team. But as we know in the NFL season, upsets do happen. There's many factors that you take into consideration. Sometimes being at home, some teams play better, later in the year. Others are more streaky, things of that sort. And so I take all that into consideration when making my predictions. And so, well, before we get to that, though, we're just going to recap the Arizona Cardinals. And man, there's a lot to be excited about. Kyler Murray, he seems primed, in my opinion, to take a big leap here with another year under his belt. I mean, it just seems like everything is lined up for him. Obviously, having Hopkins as your top receiver, that's always a great option right there. But they went ahead and they made sure that this receiving room, they brought in a lot of pieces here. AJ Green, what version of AJ Green are the Cardinals going to get? Will it be something similar to what he was earlier in his career with the Bengals? Or will it be what we saw towards the end? Can he stay healthy? Those are questions that you're going to have there. I mean, there's Andy Isabella there. They did draft, Randall Moore. Do like that. They've got Christian Kirk as well. So they've got some pieces here at wide receiver. And then on the offensive line, love the trade that they made with the Las Vegas Raiders, giving up, I believe, a third-round pick for Rodney Hudson. And so I feel like that was a smart move right there. You certainly want to make sure that you keep Kyler Murray healthy. I know that they did lose Kenyon Drake on offense, but I like Chase Edmonds. I think he has a great opportunity to come in and really have a breakout year this year. Obviously, the addition of James Conner, so those two will be kind of like a 1-2 punch. I don't know who's going to be running back number one, but I don't think it's really going to matter because Chase Edmonds, he's the kind of running back that he gets a lot of production on the few carries that he gets. So if he gets more carries, he'll get more production. Hopefully, James Conner, he can bounce back after last year, come out there and be the running back that he feels that he's capable of being. So I like what they have here in Arizona offensively. They already had a good offense. I feel like they've improved offensively. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I'm very stoked about what they've got on defense here. I mean, Chandler Jones, I'm very familiar with him, extremely good player. You put him, and Watt on that defense, and I'm already liking it already. Then you add Isaiah Simmons and the potential that he has there. Zavon Collins, they've certainly got some pieces here that if they can gel defensively, I really like what these Cardinals can do. Now, in the secondary, losing Patrick Peterson, who's been so much for this secondary for so long, they brought in a guy like Malcolm Butler. Let's see, what they get in return from that. They've got Buda Baker back there. So they've got some pieces here that we're going to have to see how they work out, Byron Murphy. But they've certainly, that defensive line is going to make work a lot easier for the secondary. I will say that. So I'm excited to see these Arizona Cardinals for sure. And I like what they did in the draft as well. I mean, I mentioned earlier, Savon Collins. That's certainly someone that has extremely high potential. Randall Moore. I mean, this really solidified their receiving room, in my opinion, in which he's someone that can come in and be a true asset. I feel over time for these Cardinals. So I do like that, as well as their, bringing in Marco Wilson from Florida. I happen to like that one as well, and their defensive end out of Duke, Victor. Not even going to mess up his last name there. But yeah, I like their first four picks of the draft. I feel like those guys really have a lot of potential to them. So excited to see what's going to happen for these Arizona Cardinals this season. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start discussing what I project for this upcoming season. And so in the opening game, going down to the Tennessee Titans, I have the Arizona Cardinals winning this one to start off the season. Kyler Murray, I think he's going to come off and have a big game in this one, and that's going to ultimately make the difference in that one. And then at home against the Minnesota Vikings, I've got Arizona winning their first home game of the season. And then for against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Urban Meyer, his offense is going to have, I think, a new look, but it's not going to matter. Arizona's going to win this one. And then going down to the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, I really like this Rams team a lot. I also like this Cardinals team, but I have the Rams winning this one, giving the Cardinals their first loss of the season, and it's within the division as well. And then against the 49ers, who I am also high on for the 49ers, I've got the 49ers actually winning this one. And then Cardinals at the Browns. That's going to be extremely tough to go down to the Browns. So I've got the Browns here. So had them starting off winning their first three. But then, a bit of a slide, but no need to panic. After going 3-3, as they're going to be at home against the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. I've got them bouncing back nicely in that one. And then against the Green Bay Packers, even if Aaron Rodgers is out there, I just feel like this will be, it's a Thursday night game. Crazy things can happen. I think the Cardinals are going to want this one. They're going to go out there and find a way to beat Green Bay in that one. And then against the San Francisco 49ers, which would be already the second time in which they faced. The first time I had the 49ers winning that one. This time I've got the Arizona Cardinals winning that game right there. And you really, if you wanted to, you could flip it around in terms of Cardinals winning week 5, 49ers winning week 9 if you wanted to swap that around. But I do think that they're going to split and go 1-1. And then week 10 against the Carolina Panthers, I've got Arizona winning that one. Week 11 against the Seattle Seahawks, I've got the Seahawks winning that one at home. And then they have the bye week right before the Chicago Bears going down to Chicago. That's going to be a tough one, but I've got them going down to Chicago and getting that W. Against the Rams, this time at home, I think they'll find some way. Kyler Murray, with all his running around, he's going to be chased by Aaron Donald, but I think he's going to find some crazy way. Just like last year, how they won that crazy Hail Mary play, they're going to find a crazy way to find a way to win this game against the Rams. And then in week 15 against the Detroit Lions, it's going to be down in Detroit, but it's not going to be a problem for these Cardinals as they're going to find a way to win that game. And now at home against the Indianapolis Colts, in which I think the Colts are going to have a pretty good year. I've got the Colts going on the road and upsetting the Cardinals in this one. And then at Dallas, Jerry World, I've got the Cowboys winning that one as well. And then final game against the Seattle Seahawks at home, in which obviously is super important for the Cardinals to win that one. I've got the Arizona Cardinals winning that one at home. By then, with I think the Seahawks, they've just like last year, how they started off hot, but then they finished kind of on the slow side. That might be a factor here. So I picked the Cardinals to win that one. Again, this is another one that you could have swapped in week 11 either way. But yeah, that is what I've got so far. So overall, I've got the Cardinals going 11-6, going 3-3 in the division, 6-2 at home, 5-4 on the road. And so certainly in terms of games that I feel that they could, swing either way, when it comes to the matchup against the Colts, that's one that I think they could also potentially win. And then you look against pretty much. I think that is perhaps one of the biggest swing games out there because I really like that. Obviously, Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, they could win that one as well. So I think it balances out. So I think 11-6 is a good expectation for these Arizona Cardinals. But definitely do stay tuned if you enjoyed this video for once I finish going through every single team. And then I do my playoff selection in terms of how I think the playoffs are going to go based upon all of these records at the end of the year. I'll enter all the records and see how that looks in terms of the playoffs, and then I'll share that with you guys. So certainly looking forward to that. But thank you so much for joining me for this video, and see you guys next time.